Live from the Business RadioX studio inside Renasant Bank, the bank that specializes in understanding you. It's time for North Fulton Business Radio.
And hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of North Fulton Business Radio. I'm John Ray, and we are broadcasting from inside Renasant Bank on Windward Parkway in beautiful Alpharetta. And folks, if you want to do business with the bank that was voted best in state for Georgia by Forbes magazine, I'm sitting in that bank right now, Renasant Bank. Now, you don't have to come to this location, although it's a great one, because they've got 200 across the South ready to serve you. And if you're interested in working with a bank that I find to be big enough to handle pretty much any need I can throw at them, but small enough to do it in a personal way, then if you want that magic combination, go to RenasantBank.com and check them out. I think you'll be glad you did. Renasant Bank, understanding you, member FDIC. And now I want to welcome Frank Fennell. Frank is with Klosebuy. Frank, welcome.
Oh, thank you, John. And before we start, if I can congratulate you.
Oh.
On behalf of Klosebuy and all of your listeners, congratulations on that 400th episode. That is a huge milestone.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm grateful for your noticing that. So thank you for that, Frank. Enough on me, though. Let's get to Klosebuy and what you're up to.
Well, I appreciate that. Klosebuy is a unique animal, and it actually the inception of it started theoretically back in the late '90s when I owned and operated Fennell Promotions. So I spent 23 years working with Fortune 500 companies. I was roped into doing this one enormous program. It didn't actually launch, but the idea always resonated with me and stuck in my brain. And that is, turn my focus away from the Fortune 500 company and focus more on that small business owner that doesn't necessarily have that large budget to be able to provide or to purchase the type of technology that I've provided to Fortune 500 companies, and to actually make it more community-driven and community-focused. Little did we know that COVID would hit, and the shouts and the screams we hear from local communities that want to shop local has never been louder. I've never heard such passion for the local business owners as we see today. Mm.
Yeah, that's for sure. I want to dive deeper into exactly what Klosebuy is all about, but let's talk about your journey. You alluded to a little bit of your work with larger companies, but talk about your journey and how you've gotten to this point.
Of course. When I was 28, I started my second company in Atlanta, and it was a points-based loyalty program. So I had very fortunate to have had a great deal of success in a very short period of time. And, early on, we represented 40 or 50 large Fortune 500 companies right out of the gate. Mm. So I was fortunate that having a background in loyalty and knowing where point-based loyalty programs were headed, we were ahead of the curve. So we started running point-based loyalty programs, which led me to building a couple of unique products. One of them actually licensed to Marriott. Doing that with a Hilton on my board was a little tricky, but it was a heck of a product. I eventually sold that company to one of the largest loyalty companies in the U.S. And my golf game was good, but I couldn't play golf nonstop, and all my friends were working. So I wanted to do something that actually made a difference, not just in my bank account, but in the communities where we live and shop and eat.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, Frank, before we dive too deeply into Klosebuy, I'm interested in this concept of loyalty. It's dominated your career and your interest and passion. Why? Talk about why loyalty is so important for a business to generate. Why is that so key for them?
Well, if a business looks at their acquisition costs to receive a new customer, it's expensive. It's very expensive. The idea is that once you have that customer, it's making them loyal to your business, to your brand, to drive repeat business. And, the way we were raised, mom had those S&H green stamp books. So I can remember the stamps going in them and us going to that retail brick and mortar store so mom could get a sewing machine. And that's the first loyalty program that we saw in the U.S. When you look at loyalty and you look at the impact it has on the individual, you got to get rid of all the noise because there's so many loyalty programs out there between credit cards and airlines and hotels and grocery stores. But it's really getting to that end user, allowing them to earn a point quickly and having that point actually worth something of value to them. And that's what we focused on for 23 years at Fennell Promotions, which was make it not only easy for the end user to earn points, but easier to burn points. That's the key. I was kind of like the black sheep in the industry because a lot of loyalty companies, I'm sure I'll get messages from my friends from this comment, but a lot of loyalty companies make tremendous amounts of money on points that go unused. That was never our case. Over 23 years, we averaged 2.3% of points being unused, which was at the time the lowest in the industry. So I wanted to take that big brand, big box concept where companies were paying us a fortune to do this form and take it down to that community business owner and say, hey, listen, you can afford to do this today. We know how to help you engage consumers, how to drive foot traffic, how to build sales. You just need the tools and a little know-how on how to make a difference. And when you see the suffering specifically from small business owners today, it breaks my heart. I've owned small businesses since the early 90s, and what I see going on it hurts watching it.
Yeah, for sure. Frank Fennell is with us, folks, and he is the founder, developer, and CEO of
now, I wouldn't say developer. My CTO, his ears will perk up when he hears that.
Okay, well,
I can't write any code whatsoever.
Okay, well, we'll let him continue to claim credit for that then, but certainly CEO of Klosebuy. So, Frank, let's get into exactly how this works for small business.
Of course. Well, when you look at what a business needs, and I'm talking from personal experience from operating businesses, when you look at what they need and the way to go about doing it, it's got to be a simple, affordable, repeatable process. So let's take an example of where you are. I noticed on your post this morning you had mentioned the North Fulton Chamber of Commerce. Great organization. So let's say we were to work with that chamber. And the chamber CEO said, this is great technology. We need to be able to help our community of business owners. So they promote what Klosebuy does, which is an affordable digital platform using no touch technology. And it's an all-in-one platform that includes digital advertising, communications, push notices, loyalty, and it's a tool to engage locals. So we have a digital seminar with members of the chamber. So the chamber gets to see the technology and ask us questions firsthand. The beauty of this is no hardware, no integration, and for the do-it-yourself business owner, no contract. So during this presentation, literally they can put themselves on the platform, follow a couple of very basic steps, clicking buttons, and then they can start acquiring locals literally in under 10 minutes. So if you think about it, let's say you have 20 local business owners that all subscribe to Klosebuy, and they're all following this same process.
Mm-hmm.
Then they use these unique codes that are created, and they communicate it to their customers. And it doesn't matter. They're in store. They email them through their database. They promote it on social media. But the consumer is being told, download the Klosebuy mobile app, enter a unique code provided by the business owner, and receive a benefit. That's the first part of loyalty. So we've designed this so there's no resistance from the consumer. The consumer, Klosebuy is always free, and they can subscribe to the platform, depending on how fast their thumbs move, in about 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have 20 businesses and they each follow these simple rules, each business will have 100 downloads in a very short period of time. So what you have now is 20 businesses in one area, 2,000 downloads in that community, and then each of those businesses is being exposed to 1,900 local consumers, all looking for the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
What's near me? What is the offer? Is loyalty involved? Do I get points? If there's a discount, I want to make sure I get it. And then we teach the business owners to offer something that's exclusive to Klosebuy. This way, people are talking about it online. It creates a buzz. And I could tell you, if you and I were friends on Facebook, I could say, hey, John, check out this offer. If you go to the Varsity, which of course I love, if I could get an extra chili dog or an extra order of rings by putting a message out on social media that I just ate at the Varsity,
Mm-hmm.
I'd do that in a heartbeat. All of that is built into one subscription on Klosebuy.
So let me make sure I get this right. So the small business itself, they're the subscriber, and it's free to the consumer. Is that the way this works?
That is correct.
Okay, got it. And but you mentioned the chamber. That was just an example. It may throw people off. You don't have to be a member of the chamber, or it doesn't go through the chamber. That was just an example. I mean, a small business can sign up on their own today.
They can. But the idea is we're not going to be this giant marketing arm. We're
Mm-hmm.
a technology company. And for us to be able to keep our prices as low as they are so that it's always going to be affordable for even the smallest business,
Mm-hmm.
is we create a partnership. Now, the partnership or a channel partner, it could be the local chamber. It could be a community bank. It could be a mammoth enterprise client that serves, as an example, local restaurants.
Mm.
So through these organizations, they promote Klosebuy to their network of existing business owners. Now, if we did something following that example with the North Fulton Chamber, what happens is small business owners know and talk to other small business owners. And if they're happy with the product, there's a 75% chance they'll recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
So if we put on those 20 businesses locally in one community and they have success with Klosebuy, they can drive in foot traffic, they can build sales, and they can add dollars to the bottom line. That's how we measure success. It's not our platform. It's the ability to help somebody else succeed. If we can help them succeed, and they know that every business that comes onto the platform follows the exact same process, the growth is exponential within the community. So now other business owners can simply go to Klosebuy, sign up their business, and in real time, their business pops up on the Klosebuy mobile app, which means all the local consumers can see the business, view their offers, favor them, kind of like liking on some of these larger social platforms. And then you and I would build our own unique network of what's important to us, our favorite businesses. It may be, the varsity. It may be my local dentist. It may be the dry cleaners where I get my shirts done. It's all on one platform. So now, me as a consumer, instead of having 50 different mobile apps on my platform, are going to these giant tech companies that are controlling a lot of the information and the data. I can launch one app, see all the subscribing businesses locally, know that I'm supporting a local business, which means local dollars spent locally, they stay at home. And that's great for everybody within the community.
So let's talk about those end users. You mentioned the consumer. Why Klosebuy versus, a lot of other apps that are out there that purport to be shop local as well?
Well, we saw one recently, and they got a lot of exposure. And the first thing I do as a consumer is I'll download the app to check it out. And the first thing they asked for was a credit card. Well, there's not a chance I'm putting a credit card into an app. Now, I'm going to protect my information as much as possible. That leads to what's referred to as abandonment issues. So what's faster than the Georgia Bulldogs scoring on the Florida Gators is somebody downloading an app and unsubscribing from it. 1 out of 4 people will do that as quickly as they download it. So when we built the consumer app, we look at it in terms of what does a consumer want? It's got to be free. We've got to require very, very little information. We protect their email address. We don't give that email address to anybody at all. And then the consumer is in complete control of all communications. So they're not going to receive, let's say that we're in North Fulton and you have 50 favorite local businesses. So you may look at your dentist and say, well, I go to the dentist regularly, so I'm going to turn off those notifications because I don't need any notifications from the dentist, but I like them and I'll refer them out. But from the local restaurant, I want to see those push notifications. I want to see the specials that are coming out. So the consumer controls 100% of all communications through Klosebuy, and we limit how much communication can go to a consumer, which over communication is the number one reason why somebody will abandon an app. We don't want to blow up somebody's phone.
Right. And one of the things I think you that control extends to the businesses they interact with, correct? I mean, not all consumers want to interact with all businesses.
That's true. The consumer still has the ability to view every local business and every advertisement, but it's there so that they can use them when they wish to use it. So if I'm local and I see an offer and it's a free beer for pizza valid on Thursdays, and I happen to be looking to eat somewhere on Thursday, the first thing I'm going to do is consult that Klosebuy mobile app and see what's available. Personally, I like beer. So I might be more apt to go to the local pizza joint because I like pizza. And if they're going to offer me a free beer, that's the incentive I need to actually come in or to order from them to receive the benefit.
Got it. Frank Fennell is with us, folks. He is with Klosebuy. So I would love it if you maybe could talk about what point you are at penetration in the North Fulton market. I know you're early on, but talk about kind of what's going on there and what businesses that are interested in this and consumers for that matter that want to access the app can look forward to.
Well, right now, we've made a number of changes because of the pandemic. Originally, the thought was there's some very specific acquisition tools a business uses to acquire a consumer. We had made the decision early on that was going to be available for managed services only. for a business that's either busy or now, if they're short staffed, they need somebody to manage the subscription for them. Well, as soon as the pandemic hit, we pulled our reins back immediately, and we made the decision as a company that technology has to be available for all business owners. So we went back through the technology, rewrote some of the code, and positioned it so that the most valuable technology to a business owner. And this is what keeps them up at night, which is, how do I get new customers?
Mm-hmm.
We made that available through both of our subscriptions, whether it's do-it-yourself or managed services. So now we're to the point that the technology is ready. Now, we are a technology company. We're never going to be finished building. But the technology is ready to roll it out through a partnership. So we've got organizations outside of Atlanta that we're working with right now. But what we would like to do is, I was raised in Atlanta, and I would love to help all the business owners back home. So we are in the initial conversations with a couple of local potential channel partners, the organizations that would actually bring Klosebuy to those local businesses.
Got it. And just to be clear, because we have listeners outside of the North Fulton area, outside of the Atlanta area for that matter, this app, Klosebuy, is available across the country for anyone that's hearing this that's interested.
It is. And keep in mind, this is an agnostic, geolocated mobile app. So what that means is, first of all, it's only available in the U.S., and we want it to be community driven, because although we've done unbelievable with a handful of businesses that were siloed by themselves in a community, when they followed our principles for engagement, they had great success. But the idea is we want to do this in communities. So it doesn't matter where the partnership starts, what organization it is. We can take it anywhere in the community, and then it's a simple process of helping that partner communicate and engage the first group of local businesses. Then we turn our attention to helping them acquire consumers, and then it feeds itself. Because as people hear about it, business owners want to join, consumers want to join. Social sharing is one click through the mobile app, and then it begins to blossom. So we can take it from one community to the next until we hit every community in the U.S.
That's terrific. Frank Fennell is with us, folks, with Klosebuy. So, Frank, let's get to the important part here. Businesses have heard a lot about this in your comments, are interested. How can they sign up?
Well, the easiest way is to simply go to klosebuy.com, KLOSEBUY.com. A business can enter an affiliate code, which is how we connect the business and the channel partner. Right now, they can just use KMS. And what that does is it allows them to either self-subscribe today, 30 days free, no hardware, no integration, no contract. So they could be live on the platform even before they finish listening to this episode. Or they can click a button and request that a professional contact them to manage the subscription for them, depending on what their needs are.
Terrific. And I guess we can say this to consumers. They can do the same thing, right? I mean, they can go to the website, or they can download the app and they can get it as well.
They can just go to the App Store, type in Klosebuy, and it'll pop right up.
Terrific. And just to be clear, folks, KLOSEBUY, right?
.com.
Awesome. Frank Fennell, folks, with Klosebuy. Frank, this has been great. Thanks so much for coming on. Thanks for your great work.
Thank you, John. And again, congratulations on 400 episodes.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, folks, just a quick reminder. Speaking of great work, A&S Culinary Concepts, they're doing some awesome work over there in Johns Creek on Jones Bridge Road. And they've got Yeah, they've got a terrific culinary studio. They do corporate catering. They do let us cook for you meals. You can just drive through, and they'll put that gourmet meal in your back of your car, and you'll make your give your cook the night off. They do terrific work there. They've also got a concept where they do corporate team building in the kitchen. And what a great way and an unusual way to bring your folks together, your team together, and to do something fun and good to eat all at the same time. If you want more information on this, I encourage you to get in touch with Andrew Traub. He's the executive chef there at A&S Culinary. 678-336-9196 is the phone number, or go to asculinaryconcepts.com for more information. You'll be glad you did. They do terrific work over there. And folks, just a quick reminder, we have, yes, as Frank mentioned, we've passed 400 episodes for this show. If you are not a subscriber, we'd love it if you join us. We've got terrific entrepreneurs on this show every week, and they do great work, and we want them to be supported and be found. That's the whole purpose of this show. So if you could subscribe to the show, North Fulton Business Radio is a search term. We would appreciate that. We would love it if you would, if your app has this capability, give us a 5-star review. And again, it's not about me or Business RadioX. It's about our great guests that do great work, and we want their work to be found and for folks to utilize their services. So for my guest, Frank Fennell, I'm John Ray. Join us next time here on North Fulton Business Radio.